The Chinese have been drinking tea since 4,000 years ago, and now tea is on the table of the British, thousands of miles away. But the story of tea continues to unfold. Let's watch this video about the tea's history. Sorry, I forgot the voice.
Tibet. Vegetables couldn't really grow in the harsh Tibetan climate, but now they could mix yak milk, yak butter, and salt with tea to add a little bit of plant fiber to their mostly animal based diet. In return, they gave the Chinese powerful war horses. Buddhist monks and traders moving along the Silk Road brought tea with them into Central Asia and into the Middle East. Tea had spread from Burma in the south to Siberia in the north, from Korea and Japan over in the east, over to Turkish, Mongolian, and Russian merchants in the west. Tea arrived in Japan and Korea in around the late 6th century, introduced by Buddhist monks who were returning from their studies in China. During Japan's Kamakura era, the custom of drinking tea reached the samurai. These intimidating warriors soon fell in love with tea. They began hosting tea parties and spread tea houses and tea culture across Japan. Tea won a complete victory in Japan when the shogun of Japan, Tomo, was suffering from a hangover so terrible he and everyone around him thought he was literally about to die, until a Zen Buddhist priest brought the shogun a bowl of tea along with his book on the benefits of tea. It cured his hangover, and Tomo became a tea addict and helped spread tea across Japanese society. Zen Buddhist monks would create an entire spiritual ceremony around tea, which evolved into the Japanese tea ceremony, which continues to this day. By the time of the Ming Dynasty in China, tea bricks had fallen out of fashion. Now, steeping loose tea leaves in boiling water was all the rage, and they developed black tea by fermenting tea leaves. And during this time, tea began to be traded with the Europeans. Oddly enough, there are really only two ways to say tea in the world. One is like the English term, té in Spanish, té in Irish, or latte in French. The other is some variation of cha, like chai in Hindi, zai in Russia, or chai in Turkish. Both versions come from this Chinese character. In Mandarin and Cantonese, it's pronounced cha. So if a language calls tea some variation of cha, then tea reached them overland by way of the Silk Road. But in Min Chinese, spoken in the coastal province of Fujian, the character is pronounced te. Fujian is where 17th century Dutch merchants traded with China. The te pronunciation spread to Europe by way of the Dutch. But the first Europeans to reach China were the Portuguese, who traded through Macau, where cha is used, which is why Portugal is the only cha user in a sea of tea. The Dutch brought the first shipment of tea to Amsterdam in 1610 and started spreading it around Europe. Europeans didn't quite take the tea. The price was a bit too steep for what they saw as a bitter and medicinal drink. To them, it was only useful for its ability to vanquisheth heavy dreams, easeth the brain of heavy damps, and openeth obstructions in the bowel. The first tea arrived in England in around 1645, but the English weren't keen either. They were coffee drinkers. That was until the Portuguese princess Catherine of Braganza and Charles II of England married in 1662. Catherine loved tea. The first thing she asked for when she landed in England was a cup of tea. Spotting a potential opportunity, in 1664, the British East India Company gifted Charles and Catherine 1 kilo of Chinese tea. Soon, all fashionable society wanted to be seen sipping tea just like the royals.